Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. It's the podcast where body slams meet boss fights. This is no DQs, no respawns. In this corner, the voice of old school grit, Joshua Schultz. And in the other, the king of hot takes, Chance Wyrick. One remembers the days of territories. One Googled them. Wrestling, life, video games, all on one card every week.
WrestlePalooza is in the books, but the dust hasn't settled yet. We've got winners to brag about, losers to roast, and after that, we're cracking open some dice to see what kind of wild WWE Baldur's Gate 3 party we can throw together.
All right, let's get right into it. WrestlePalooza. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Just like we called it, a fucking squash match.
It was horrible. Right from the get-go, I knew that was going to be a disappointing night.
Yeah, dude. We're supposedly going through this greatest hits tour, but then we're gonna throw Brock Lesnar in there to do a squash match. I didn't realize that was part of the greatest hits tour. I didn't realize. Like we're missing a couple like key guys already in the John Cena greatest hits tour. But I wouldn't throw Brock in there as one of them. That's not a guy that like I needed to see
No,
a way out.
no. And especially not to disappear afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, it's it's bad booking.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
No.
They're dropping the ball in this Cena run. They're dropping the ball. Like I don't know, man. It's supposed to. It's like the last hurrah. Like this is your GOAT. This is the guy that you've crowned. You got the announce teams calling him the GOAT, and you're fucking like sending him out to the pasture. Like it's kind of crazy.
Absolutely destroyed.
It was a bad look.
Yeah. We had Vision versus the Usos after that. I think it just continued the shenanigans throughout the night with Jay hitting himself in the face with the chair off of Braun's back.
I think that was a perfect representation of WrestlePalooza as a whole.
It was.
I think him hitting himself and busting himself open with the chair. That was a perfect representation of how underwhelming and just overall sad that WrestlePalooza was.
Yeah.
Like I said last week, I don't think Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed should have came out winners over the Usos. I think with the Usos, they're like an all-time tag team. I think they should be like a big deal. Like it should be a mountain to climb to beat them.
Yeah.
You know, this like throw together faction shouldn't just have a win over the Usos.
No, they're one of the most celebrated tag teams in all of WWE history, and this thrown together tag team / stable, makes them look like a bunch of idiots. I guess Jay did that to himself, but
it just overall though the match wasn't like it was.
No, I don't think it did anything for anybody. LA Knight was the referee, but even that was forgettable.
Yeah, I don't even know what they're doing with that storyline. I don't even get it. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what we're doing with LA Knight. I don't know what we're doing with Jimmy. Like I don't really understand.
It's like they had 6 or 7 people that were like, we don't know what to do with you, so we're just gonna keep throwing you at each other.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
No. One of the bright spots of the night, Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky for the women's championship. Was definitely, it was a great match.
Probably the only pay-per-view worthy match of the night.
Yeah.
I would say, honestly. Not to say that any of the other matches were bad, but that was the only one that felt like a big pay-per-view, felt like a real pay-per-view match, like it didn't feel like this. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Glorified house show, kind of
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah. That's what it felt like. It was supposed to be ESPN's, grand debut, and it was pretty embarrassing.
It was pretty mid.
Even ESPN felt that way. We had CM Punk, AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, which was an entertaining match.
I think I think it's exactly what I said it was last week. It was a match, kind of get the ring rust off AJ Lee, which I know is not necessarily like the most, greatest ring technician. Like, she came from kind of like the Divas era, so she's more of a character based wrestler. But I think, it was, get her back in there, get her back in the flow, doing things, taking bumps, and I think, AJ Lee she could probably still thrive in this era.
Yeah, I think she could. I think it was entertaining. It served its purpose. I just hope they have somewhere to go from here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a run of the mill mixed tag team, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
It was
I mean, like on a side note, though. I mean, like I feel like it would
not a paper. Not I don't know if it was a paper.
No. Yeah. On a personal note for them, though, I feel like it would be pretty cool to tag team with your wife.
Yeah, no, that is. I dig it. I dig the experience for both of them. Like that's dope. But
Nothing special. Yeah.
let's get into it. Let's get into it. Cody Rhodes.
You've been waiting on this one.
Drew McIntyre. So we're just gonna keep dragging on Cody keeping the belt.
I'm ready for him to give it up.
We're just gonna keep dragging it.
Drew deserved that win.
100%. And Cody, dude, like I'm sorry, Cody's not the guy. He's not his champion. He's a great challenger. Great challenger. He makes a hell of a, but also at the same time, I'm ready for heel Cody.
Yeah.
Like I think maybe heel Cody might be a better champion, but face Cody, man, he might be good for the kids, but he's super generic and plain, as the champion, as a face champion to me.
See, and
he was a great like chaser as a face, but I still think he was a good champion.
100%. I think he's fallen into that John Cena role almost, where where if he goes on too much longer, can they even ever turn him heel? It took John Cena 20 years. I hope they break that and they turn him heel pretty quick, give him that Homelander style. I'm better than everybody else, but also very destructive.
I think he will, because I think Cody probably wants to like a legitimate heel. I feel like that's something Cody would want to do.
I hope so. I feel like it could be a very entertaining, very career defining feud. Or not feud, just angle.
That's what I mean. I think he could be. I think it'll happen. I don't foresee us not seeing that Cody heel turn, or heel run, I should say.
Leading up to Crown Jewel, which is going to be in Perth, Australia for the first time outside of Saudi Arabia. Champion versus champion, legacy versus future.
The only match worth caring about is AJ versus John Cena.
See, and I think you're right. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, they've put the graphic on TV every week, 22-0. So I don't care anymore. We've seen it 22 times since Cody Rhodes has been back. Now they both hold championships, and I'm supposed to care. if Seth wins, that gives him he's 22-1. Who cares?
If that's what it takes to get the belt off Cody, all right. You know what I mean? As far as I know, the belt's not on the line, but as far as to dethrone Cody and make, put a chink in Superman's armor, like,
The downfall of Cody Rhodes.
yeah, whether it be the heel turn or whether it be, losing the title again to heel turn. Well, whatever it takes. I just think we're at a point now, like, Cody's got to either chase it, he's got to turn heel. I just don't. He's a great face. I get the kids love him, but I just don't feel like he can hold the like he's not. He doesn't make for a good champion. I'm sorry.
No.
He just doesn't.
And I wish that
Not as
were
a face.
one thing that they would understand is someone can be the face of the company and not be the champion, or someone can be the John Cena Make-A-Wish, foundation style person and not have to be the top person in the company.
And I get it. I'm sure that's what he wants, or he wants to be that guy. The main guy, the top guy. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole finishing the story shit. But like, I don't know, man. Maybe it'd be better as a heel, but this face run has been rough as a champion.
It has. Every time he gets the belt, I seem to get disinterested.
Yeah, I love to watch him chase it. It's always a good time to watch chase for the belt, fight for the belt.
Yeah.
But once he gets it, I immediately don't care.
Yeah. So, who do you think is coming away with that? Cody Rhodes or Seth Rollins?
I think it's gonna be Cody because, like, you seen that poster with
Roman? Yeah.
I think that's how Roman comes back. I think Roman comes back to cost Seth the match after Seth put him out of action. If I think that was their teaser, and I don't think Roman's coming back in an official capacity as far as like he's wrestling the match that night.
Right.
But I think he's coming in, running, costing Seth the match, and that's how he announces his return. And also screw over Seth. Side.
I'm sure he'd take any opportunity to screw over Seth.
That's my take. I think.
You know what? I that's what I want to see. I'll agree with it.
If he shows up, that's where I see him most likely to show up if he's gonna actually show up.
All right.
If he doesn't show up, no harm, no foul. But if he shows up, that makes the most sense to me.
So translated, if he shows up, quote us. If he doesn't, forget we said it. All right.
But they had him on the poster. That was just, we're speculating here.
They did.
Speculating.
Yeah.
Speculating.
All right, Stephanie Vaquer versus Tiffany Stratton. Do you see Jade Cargill get split open last night? That was rough. It was. It was good TV, but it was rough.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude. I can't remember who it was, but I think that pretty sure Nia Jax has busted somebody open in that same spot with the running them into the steel steps.
I wouldn't
on another occasion. Like, I swear, I just seen something like that. Yeah.
She does seem to always be in the ring or touching the person who gets injured.
It's not a great.
Don't at me, Nia.
Not a great look. I love Nia. She is.
Why can't we get her in the bloodline?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Who you got coming out? Stephanie and Tiffany.
Josh, you're gonna hate me.
Nah.
I'm going Tiffany. It's Tiffy time.
All right. See, look, and I got nothing against Tiffany, but I think Stephanie Vaquer is probably the best women's wrestler in wrestling right now.
I know, man. That moonsault's pretty damn good.
It is. It is pretty.
Sault's pretty damn good.
I sure couldn't do any better.
And I don't know. She's got that athleticism. I think Stephanie's a great wrestler, but I don't know if she's as big as some of these other stars. I think Tiffany has a higher ceiling.
That's fair.
I think she's gonna be one of the top girls, and I think she'll have a couple runs here and there too, for sure. But I think I don't. I think there's a couple other ones that are too hot right now for her to be number one full time just yet. But we'll see.
That's fair.
I've heard different things in reports, so maybe I'm wrong, but that's just how I see it.
Our sources are never wrong.
I'm my own.
He's my source. All right. Cena, AJ Styles. We touched on it briefly, but who do you think's coming away with that? They've had a pretty epic rivalry over the years. You know, as I looked back on it the other day, I didn't think it was as long or as many matches as it actually was. But I went through their list, you know, their matches, and it was quite a bit more than I thought.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew they had a couple. You know.
I mean, it was a couple, but they were pretty big feuds, I guess is what I'm saying. Is I didn't realize how important that feud was to Cena or Styles' legacy until I went back in retrospect.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, because like they were both kind of to their I guess companies were each that guy.
Yeah.
Like AJ Styles, he was like we've said in previous episodes, he was the John Cena of TNA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and like arguably like a much better worker than Cena ever was.
That I don't know that we need to argue. He sure was. Yeah. Yeah. I think I don't think either need the rub at this point, but with Styles going on his supposed, you know, retirement tour next year, I'd like to see him win it.
That's sad. I think so too. I think I don't know, like it's tough because you don't want to just bury Cena on this retirement tour.
No,
But also I do feel like uh AJ Styles kind of needs this win right now.
he does.
I
And
feel like it's vital that he has this one right now.
it is, and see, that's the thing is I don't think this John Cena tour has ever been about just seeing John Cena win matches. I wanted to relive those moments. You know, if Styles comes away with that win and it's a hard fought, you know, match, I don't think anybody comes away disappointed.
Right, but that's what it's got to be. It's got to be like, it's got to be a banger. You know, it's got to be a hell of a match. You know what I mean? Like they got to pull out stops. You know, AJ got to be phenomenal. You know, Cena's got to be super. Like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they got to be the best versions of themselves for that to happen.
I hope they are. All right. I've heard some talks about, you know, Rhea and Io versus the Kabuki Warriors, Becky and AJ Lee. You know, usually this is as we said, champion versus champion. You know, what do you think are going to be the other matches? Do you think we could see a Sami Zayn versus Dominic Mysterio?
Ooh, I didn't think about that too. So it's yeah, that'd be solid. I, that might be match of the night. That's got like match of the night potential.
It could be El Generico versus the greatest luchador of all time.
Yeah, dude, I could see that being a hell of a match. That could be a banger. Like those are obviously Sammy's a little bit older than Dom, but those are two probably the best workers right now. Like as far as just like going and just putting on these hell of a matches week in and week out.
Yeah.
I think Sammy versus Dom, that'd be a great one. And I think that if we're calling winners, I would say I think Dom comes out on top of that somehow. I think it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Where Eli cheats his way to the win. I think it makes most sense if Dom comes out on top.
Oh, Eddie tribute would be great.
That would be great. But I think if that match did get booked, I think Dom would come out on top.
I would hope so. At this point in his career, not that Sammy doesn't deserve a win or still shouldn't, win a world title. I think it would do more for Dom's career than it would Sammy's.
I agree. So next up, we got Baldur's Gate 3 WWE edition. So we're gonna go into if WWE's locker room spawned in favoring, who's the paladin with the glowing entrance? Who's the rogue in the shadows? Who's the bard talking the ref into bad calls?
All right, folks. And if for you people who don't, or anybody that doesn't play D&D or play Baldur's Gate, we're gonna go through the some of the classes and kind of have a little argument over who we feel fit best. First, we'll go with our paladins. Paladins are holy warriors bound by an oath. They blend martial might of a fighter with the divine power of a cleric. But at their core, paladins are defined less by religion and more by the sacred oath they swear. A vow to uphold justice, protect the innocent, or sometimes enforce a darker creed, depending on their choice. So, who's your or top pick or couple picks for paladin?
So I liked one of the picks you put up there, Roman. I think Oath of Conquest Paladin for Roman is a very good vibe. I can get behind that. I get behind that. But I could also see if we're going all time, an Oath of Vengeance Paladin, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That would be great. See, I can't disagree with either of those. As we were talking this week about this episode, all I had in mind was Cody Rhodes. My view of a paladin is the shield bearing,
The heroic paladin.
yeah, the heroic paladin. That's always my view. But as Chance and I were talking earlier, that really kind of hit me. A paladin doesn't have to be good. You got Oath of Conquest, Oath of Vengeance. I can't argue with either of those. I was ready to fight you to the death over Cody Rhodes, but I'd give you Roman.
Just because, think about it. Who do you swear your oath to, or what? Exactly. The family will follow.
So next, everybody's favorite, the Bard, the master of performance, charisma, and versatility. They're often described as the storytellers, musicians, and tricksters of the adventuring world. But under the hood, they're also one of the most adaptable and powerful support classes in the game.
Okay, so you give me your pick here first, Josh, and then I'm gonna tell you the undisputed perfect bard.
So, I could throw out the Rock. I'm not, but Sami Zayn. I don't know how you can forget, his little bloodline gimmick where he's dancing in everybody's head. Yeah, you feeling oozy. I think I'd have to go with Eddie Guerrero. Not necessarily. I mean, just the smoothest talker that I could ever think of. And then Chance told me his pick. Who you got?
So hear me out. Like a nat 20 persuasion check every time. the guy that can break anybody. The national treasure, R-Truth.
Look, and didn't once consider it. And then as soon as he said it, I was like, it was like a bell went off.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
that's it.
it's perfect. He's the perfect bard. He can talk his way out of anything.
Hmm.
Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, look, that's
You
still one
know,
of the funniest segments.
like there's so much. Like it's perfect, dude. Like he's the perfect bard. As soon as I thought of bards, I was like, that's the bard. That's the guy.
Yeah, I was prepared to fight. Had nothing when you said our truth. Our truth is our bard. All right. Next would be let's do a barbarian. Barbarian is the embodiment of raw strength, primal fury, and sheer endurance. They're warriors who fight not with finesse or polished training, but channeling rage into terrifying power. And we pretty much did the same thing here. I had my pick, just knew it was going to be right, and then Chance gave me his. Mine was Rhea Ripley. Wanted to keep it female with Karlak, the Baldur's Gate 3 character, one of my favorite barbarians. And then Chance hit me with
Brock Lesnar. But I hear you out. Listen, I will say I do hear you out. I think Rhea was a great, especially if like you're kind of keeping on brand. If you're thinking of like a Karlak uh variant of WWE superstar, it would be Rhea for sure, 100%. Like she gives that vibe. But if I'm thinking like the class of a barbarian, especially like thinking like a frenzy barbarian, like
yeah,
I'm thinking Suplex City Brock Lesnar. I'm thinking just smashing him into the ground, throwing him around the ring, like yeah. I'm thinking of a frenzy Brock. I'm thinking of a barbarian.
I can't argue with that. As if Brock's rage timer never runs out.
Yep, exactly. Next up, we got Rogue, a trickster or a backstabber. In Dungeons and Dragons, a rogue is a master of skill, cunning, and strike where it hurts most. They're not about brute force or divine vows. They win by clever precision and slithery. Uh, so who do you got for your rogue?
So, I immediately thought Dominic Mysterio. He's got that Eddie Guerrero vibe, can talk his way in and out of anything, somehow holds 2 titles right now. And Chance just kind of hit me with his pick, as usual.
Come on, we gotta think Apex Predator. If we're talking about the rogue, we're talking about the fucking the guy that's putting Stephanie
This is
McMahon.
number 2 mention here.
Yeah. Put it on the counter. We're talking about Randy Orton, bro. Come on, like Randy is the rogue.
Yes,
The RKO out of nowhere is the epitome of a sneak attack.
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Look, and I guess I only thought of it as the, just talk your way out of anything or sneaking through the shadows. I didn't think of it as a just RKO out of nowhere because that's always where it comes from.
Mhm. Out of nowhere.
I can't argue
And
with
think
that.
about how many times Randy has snuck in and crept up and just he wasn't there, and then the next thing you know, he's boom. They're laid out with the RKO.
That's fair.
Just like a sneak attack with advantage.
Look, Dom's rogue subclass would be annoying younger sibling.
Yeah.
I get it. All right, next we got Wizard. In Dungeons and Dragons, a wizard is the ultimate arcane scholar, the person who studies magic like it's a science and bends reality through sheer knowledge and preparation. I was kind of iffy about this one. I ain't gonna lie. Um, who's a wizard in WWE?
A wizard in WWE, huh?
We could go Paul Heyman. He's maybe the spell book is his promo.
I could see that. The way he's able to enchant the crowd.
See?
I
Mm-hmm.
could see Paul Heyman as our bard.
Wizard.
Or not. Oh, yeah, bard wizard.
Mm-hmm.
But
Who you got?
I could also see maybe Paul Bear.
Ooh. Is Paul Bearer a wizard or a warlock? But isn't Undertaker the
Wizard
dead
of
man?
Necromancy.
Which would be a war.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wizard of Necromancy, with the whole
All right.
what's Tory gimmick, working at
Mortician. Yeah.
mortician gimmick,
There you go.
working in the funeral home with the dead bodies and building caskets with the Undertaker. I think a wizard of necromancy. That's my bar, or that's my wizard right there.
I'm not gonna argue with Paul Bearer being a wizard. Let's do it.
And the urn, how he controlled the Undertaker with the urn, like he was a corpse that had re-risen.
Yeah. So would the Undertaker be the warlock to his wizard? In Dungeons and Dragons, a warlock is a spellcaster who doesn't learn magic through study like a wizard or channel it through faith like a cleric. They make a pact with a powerful entity and draw their magic from that bond. It's equal parts deal making, ambition, and risk.
I think, yeah, 100%. I think if you think about it, I think Kane and Undertaker are both kind of the warlocks in Paul Bear. You could kind of see him as their patron.
Yeah.
Like instead of the great old one, they swore an oath to Paul Bear.
Yeah. So hear me out. Just to play devil's advocate, what about Finn Balor, Malachi Black, or Aleister Black, or Bray Wyatt? I mean,
Finn Balor.
yeah. I mean, you can have both. You can't just tote the Demon King into any tavern. You know what I mean? He's got to be Finn throughout the day.
That's what I mean. I
Yeah.
feel like the Demon King in itself could be the
Damn. Write
Think
that
about
down. Write that down.
about that. Like the Demon King, the Demon King is, who he swore his oath to.
Man. See,
Mm-hmm. In Dungeons and Dragons, a cleric is the divine champion, the one who channels the power of a god, ideal, or cosmic force to heal, protect, and sometimes smite. There's more to just the healer. They're more than just the healer. They're the embodiment of the deity's domain of the battlefield. Cleric. So who's your pick for a cleric? Josh.
listen. This one was pretty rough. I couldn't really think of anybody, but if I'd want anybody there cheering me on at my side, picking me up, it'd be Bailey. Those hugs would be amazing. Mid battle. Like, come on.
If I'm thinking of a cleric, and I'm thinking like a support character, someone who's gonna a lot of times buff my tank or my barbarian or anything like that. I don't know. For me personally, I'm thinking like what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought there. But
What about Mick Foley? We could go the Kylo Ren route. He heals others by sacrificing his own health.
That's a solid pick too. I don't know if I'm going cleric though. I need somebody that's getting them amped up. You know, someone who can really support. Why don't?
Four
I don't-
letters, one word.
No,
No, he's not a cleric.
I don't think so. What about Paul Heyman?
That'd be pretty good. Paul
Paul
Heyman would
Heyman
pump
is
me
a
up pretty
cleric.
good. Yeah. All
You
right.
know,
He's a good cheerleader.
great cheerleader.
I mean, look at all the.
You know, I think Paul Heyman casts a blessed spell. You know,
I think if Paul Heyman cast bless anything, he'd burn in hell. Yeah. He'd be great. I love it. All right. All right. So my favorite one of the night. The NPC nobody wants in camp.
for my Baldur's Gate fans out there, for me that's Gale. Fucking hate Gale.
Like Gale stays level 1.
Level 1, or if I'm
Mhm.
playing Dark Urge, he might just be a hand.
Hey, you heard it here.
But NPC I don't want in camp. If I'm thinking wrestlers,
I probably will.
I don't care for those Creed brothers.
Austin and Julius, no, that's fine. Yeah, I hate them too.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like those guys. Yeah, doesn't hurt my
I
feelings.
think they hold Chad Gable back, kind of. And I'd hate to see him.
See,
Okay.
you know, I couldn't disagree with that in any way. Somebody who I've always not wanted to be around though would be Baron Corbin. Never understood it. Never understood how protected his finisher was. Do you know how long it was before somebody kicked out of the end of days?
I know it was like a real long time.
Almost the end of his WWE career. Like the guy had the most protected finisher in his time.
Yeah, I never really got it either. He's nothing crazy. I I think he's just like he's this day's version of like he's an enhancement talent.
Yeah.
He's almost like Miz level,
Yeah.
like post like championship run Miz level, where it's just like he's kind of like this gatekeeper guy, but he's like he's never gonna really challenge
The tutorial quest that never goes away. Yeah. A few others we could do Ezekiel, who look, I'm gonna admit right here on the podcast that I didn't realize Ezekiel was LA Knight until like a couple weeks ago. I swear to God, I thought it was help me out here, what's his name? Elias. Yeah. I thought they just like legit shaved Elias. Like maybe I didn't have my glasses on. I don't know. But had no idea that was LA Knight. I enjoy that whole gimmick a lot more if I'd have known that was LA Knight. I guess I need to.
But another one I wouldn't want to see in my camp, or thinking all time, he goes by many names.
Ooh.
But Viscera, Big Daddy B, Mabel.
I feel like you've got a grudge against this man because like nobody said nothing. And you were like, fuck this.
Well, we're talking about NPCs we don't want to camp.
I know
So
you.
it's like
That's fair,
if we're
but
thinking all time,
Like,
Or
what did Viscera do to you?
another one I never understood. I never really liked Perry Saturn.
See, I did in WCW, but he didn't do anything in WWE.
He carried around a mop, didn't he?
Moppy, yeah. He got that was a punishment or something. I can't remember what it
I'm
was.
just saying, if there was a guy walking around camp with a mop, I'm not talking.
Is he cleaning or dating
Even
it?
if he is.
Fair, either way.
If
We
you're
don't
just
need
a
him.
camp mop boy, if I'm the fucking lead adventurer and you're the fucking camp mop boy,
Mop boy.
we ain't got a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, he don't want to be your friend.
I'm
Okay.
telling you, I got quests to do.
Mm-hmm.
I got people to save.
Got
Clear.
get this out of the way.
Mopping.
Chance has no time for lowly janitors. Okay.
Not when I'm saving the world.
Got a mop in your hand. Get out of my way.
Get out of my way.
Sorry, janitors. Yeah, that's fair. I wouldn't want him there either.
All right. Yeah, I think that is all we got this week. Once again, thanks for coming out. Once the bell rings or the dice roll, this is no DQ, no response. Signing out.